Hello and welcome to Cabincast. I'm Oliver and I'm joined today by Chris.
Hello.
Tan.
Hiya.
And Emily.
Hello.
Bunch of characters who don't usually mix actually on Cabincast. I don't think you guys really interact with each other at all.
Yeah, we all actually hate each other in real life.
Not at all.
No.
But I think I have all of you on different things. I have Emily on some reactions, Tan on Steven Universe rambles, and Chris on other reactions. So, yeah, but we're here on this Cabincast episode doing something a bit different and something we're gonna try and stick to doing a bit more frequently, which is some top 10 lists, but personal ones, specifically music related, because we all here quite like music of varying kinds, as you are about to see. And we thought it could be interesting and a bit different to have some lists discussing different music things. Obviously, some things people would have more to say on than others. We're starting with video games because there's quite a lot to do there, but we will do TV and anime and film in the future. And, you know, in those instances, some people may have more to say than others. But it would just be interesting to hear people's perspectives and see how people's tastes differ and, you know, what memories they have with this music and stuff like that. So we're starting today with the top 10 video game title themes. So this is either a piece, or at least it should be. This either should be a piece that's essentially associated very heavily with the entire game, or kind of a piece that plays very much at the start or over the title of the game / the menu, that kind of thing.
Like the intro card.
That's the word that I was looking for that just did not happen. So that's where we're starting. A couple of us have some honourable mentions before we get into the proper top 10. We're not going to get through everything today, and we don't intend to. We're going to take it as a leisurely pace and see where we get. Hayley, who has not been on Cabincast before, was going to join us as well, and is still hoping to next time, but she could not be here for this one, so I will go through a couple of hers at least, because I've been given a couple. Yeah. We're gonna go through them, listen to a little bit of them, or all of them, depending on what the person who's tracking this thinks we need to do. How I'm gonna sort that out in the editing bit, I have no idea, but we'll see.
Deal with that later.
Indeed. So we will start off with, I think it's just me and Tan who have some honourable mentions.
Really?
Yeah. Chris's thing was, if it's in an honorable mention, you just wait for another time where it's in the proper top 10, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I had a couple in here which are just like well, yeah, we'll get to it. So, Tan, your first one was, and I'm hoping that these links are now going to work.
Indeed.
This one.
Oh, I think it worked.
Cool. So yeah,
paused.
do you want to give us? Yeah, I don't want to play it before you've.
Gotcha.
A bit for it. So.
All right, this is from the kind of recent-ish indie roguelike, but Blazing Beaks. And you know what? The thing that makes it so iconic that I had to put it as an honorable mention is that they turned like a slightly retro synth, and they made it sound like a duck quacking. And I love it so much that that's the reason I put it on. It's fun.
That's
Let's
amazing.
It kind of just makes you want to go, yeah.
Fair enough. Let's listen to a bit of it and see what Tan means.
Yeah, you just need the first bit.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I've never heard of this game, so that's very cool.
That's
I can hear that. Yeah.
That's quite amazing, to be fair.
It's
What's
so
the,
clever.
What's the plot behind the game? Are you like just a little duck?
Yeah, you're a bird doing roguelike things.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's very Quack-like. Yeah.
It's very quacky.
love it.
What would you call that genre? Like quackcore or?
I guess it's breadcore because ducks love bread.
Breadcore.
Red
Yeah.
core. That's
Geek
amazing.
core. There you go.
Okay, so that was Tan's first honorable mention. Now for my first honorable mention. Okay, yeah. So, my first honorable mention is at least to my memory, the first kind of opening for Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Ooh. Okay,
Uh,
yes, that's a good one.
because I was like, I do like this song, but it is also a song that's just an actual level song further in.
Mm.
Alright.
And also it changed when they did the DLC.
Is this the
that-
original pre-DLC one then?
This is the pre-DLC one. And I was like, I like the new one, but I like the original one as well. But also part of what makes it so great is the lead up to it, I think. Like there's the whole kind of intro cinematic. And so that's what like it's kind of not exactly the title thing that I like so much, but it kind of is. So it'll fit in here. And yeah. So this is we don't have to need the whole thing, but we need the intro a bit. I don't know.
Heard of this?
Tan's played it, but
I have, yeah.
I have watched Cat play it.
yeah. I used to do streams of it.
Speedruns.
I'm a lot less good at it than Cat.
I'm learning about new games. This is exciting.
Didn't manage to beat it in the end.
I beat some of them, but not all of them.
I'm guessing it's quite difficult.
It's tricky, yeah. There's a Legend of Zelda one as well,
There is.
which is quite fun.
Oh, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I think everything on Crypt of the Necrodancer is very funky.
Very
It's
funky.
all bangers.
It's all great music. But I just especially like the build and the way it works, and it's
It
cool.
really works well, yeah.
But it's also like it's like level 3 of the first bits music as well. So it's kind of like does this really count? I don't know. But yeah, I really like it. It really gives you the vibe of the game, and the style of music is, there's quite some variety, but it's all kind of got that beat to it because that's the whole point. You're you move on the beat, you attack on the beat.
Nice.
And that's kind of how the game works. So
So,
yeah,
so I'm guessing it's like a little bit like like Rhythm Haven. Is that the name of the game? Where you have to sort of do those sort of musical.
yeah. I've not
ish.
played Rhythm Haven, but yeah. So it's a roguelike. In which you're going through dungeons and you got to fight monsters and find the exit and collect things and stuff like that. But you have to move on the beat and attack on the beat. And other enemies move on different beats and stuff like that. So it's and if you can just stay still and then not move, but then you lose your multiplier and stuff like that. I don't quite remember exactly how it works, but it's very fun. It's very cool. They did a Cadence of Hyrule one, which is the same, but like with Legends of Zelda stuff. And then I think they're coming up with a second one. But I
I think so,
exactly how that
yeah.
works. But I have seen it. I think it's on my wish list. But that's my second one. My first honorable mention even. So we have one honorable mention from Tan.
Indeed. This is an odd one. It's from an old PS2 game
Okay.
Ooh.
called
My
it's
territory.
called Penny Racers in the UK.
Oh,
What?
hell yeah.
I've not even heard of this one either. Wow.
In Japan, it's called Koro Q HG, and in
Amazing.
America, it was called Gadget Racers because they just love to be confusing about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
The game's got great music, but the funniest thing is just this game. It like absolutely knocks it out of the park with this intro, but at the same time, it's got I don't know who's singing. there's no information available. I've looked up like a lot trying to find the person who is singing in this. No idea who it is. And I'm not entirely convinced that they're speaking English through most of it. I think they might just be saying random words and then occasionally saying things that are legible.
Sure.
Because it's
Ah.
utterly unintelligible except for a few words, and I love it.
Okay.
But they really tried to make it this kind of 70s, 80s disco revival, like almost sort of with the sort of black singer, like almost Motown. It's really, really bizarre. I love it.
Okay, let's have a listen.
It's got a bit of a build-up.
It feels like we're starting some sort of noir cop
Yeah.
genre. Oh,
Huh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. He sounds a bit like the singer from Persona 5, Lynn.
Could be. See the disco influences?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, now we get to the lyrics. What are they saying?
That sounds to me like a Japanese person who's said, yes, I can speak English for our song.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll write the lyrics.
It fits, but
it reminds me of those videos that I've seen of people, like what English sounds like to foreigners, non-English speakers.
Yeah.
It still goes hard though.
Absolutely.
See, all I can hear is Lynn, but no, it's not.
I don't know if they had the budget to hire someone like that.
I can see what you mean. It's a bit obscure, Tan, with who the singer is. I can definitely see what you mean.
Yeah, no idea, but it's really funny.
Nathan Burton is coming up as the musician, but not the singer. I can see what you mean.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Penny Racers, and it's a
There
racing
we
game
go.
featuring super deformed cars.
You do like your PS2 deformed car racing games, don't you?
I do. I like the Korokyu series.
I'd be very surprised if you don't have a Road Trip Adventure song in your top 10 somewhere.
I limited myself to one song per franchise, I'm afraid. So, no Road Trip. Besides, that one doesn't actually have a theme, because it just sort of doesn't have any intro or menu music.
Fair enough.
Sadly.
Okay, well there we go. So that is 10-second honourable mention. So now for my second one, and this one is some Star Wars. This is from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which came out late last year. And the reason this is here is mostly because it's more leitmotif. Star Wars is all about leitmotifs, more than entire themes. A lot of them anyway.
Nice.
There are some, but it's leitmotif that comes in the whole game a lot. At some very key moments. But you first hear it kind of on the like intro screen before this bit, and then also in this bit, and it kind of, it kind of prefaces it with at the very start, and so then when you hear it again later, it just kind of harkens back to the start like that, and it's very cool. And I like it a lot. I don't remember exactly when it is to this thing because this is a longer video and it's like just kind of atmospheric. But we'll just play it and I'll point it out when it comes up.
I can tell this is a Star Wars.
It's yeah.
Theme. We're not even looking, like it's just listening, like not even like looking at the fact that it is. You know, you sort of listen to it, you're like,
Mhm.
yeah, this is a blank series, or you
Yeah.
know, like with the horns and trumpets and stuff.
Yeah. So it's that horn bit there. The
Mm.
Ah.
And that's kind of the leitmotif of, it might be a cow's leitmotif, I'm not quite sure, but it definitely is the one that comes back a lot in the game. And yeah, that's why that's there, because I'm like, I like this and I think of it a lot when I think of like themes that I like, but at the same time it's not an entire piece. It's just that one moment that kind of sticks with me. So that's why that is there.
Do you know who composed it?
Probably not John Williams.
It won't be John Williams.
It's probably influenced by his stuff,
But
though.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Jedi Survivor's composers were Stephen Barton and Gordy Harb.
Oh, they did
I
a good
want
job.
to say.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do really love the music in Jedi Survivor. It definitely feels Star Warsy. And that is good.
We get an extra song from The Who in Jedi Survivor.
We do. To
Wow.
be fair.
Which, if you don't know, they are a Mongolian throat metal band.
Yeah.
Not the British rock band, The Who.
No, Who
I
was
was
in
about to think
HU.
of,
Oh.
I was thinking of The Who.
I realised, yeah, how that sounds. No, they did the intro to the first game, and they were just told make an alien sounding song, and they just did Mongolian throat singing with some metal, and that was it, really.
Really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. Okay.
I guess
So
we begin.
We begin properly now. So me and Tan have already talked quite a bit. So we will start with Emily. You can go first with your number 10.
Okay.
Which we will get up now, if this looks like the right one.
Yeah, you'll know a running theme with my themes of whatever song I like.
I see.
Yeah, so my first one is obviously the main title theme from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the Wii. Or GameCube, whichever version you played first. It'll be the same.
Sure.
You can play the whole thing. It's like, I think it just has that sort of...
We will play it now.
Will we? Okay.
Yep.
I love this theme a lot because of nostalgia, mainly because it was like probably one of the first games on the Wii that I properly beat, and you could just tell this is a Zelda game just by listening to it because of the choir, and it's just, it's a creepy game as well.
It's definitely got a kind of mythic, but also kind of ominous, slightly ominous quality. I haven't played any Zelda.
Oh, I see. But
so,
yeah.
I have played one Zelda game, and that is Minish Cap.
Oh no,
which I do like.
Yeah.
I borrowed Breath of the Wild, and tried to play on Switch. But playing that kind of game on a Switch does not work for me.
And just the
the wolf howling.
Yeah, that's
because Link turns into a wolf, doesn't he?
Yeah, in that game, yeah. And you hear that last
the
bit at the end.
Yep.
Yeah. That theme at the end comes up a lot. It's just so creepy. But then you go into the main menu and you just hear classic like for like the main Zelda menu theme. It's just this one completely comes out of nowhere, and it's like, I love it.
Completely different to the Zelda I almost had on my list.
Yeah?
I almost had Wind Waker on my list, which is the
Oh,
most
okay.
cheerful flute music you'd ever listen to.
And then you hear this one, it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's good because it adds a full sense of security with this game because it is a dark game, metaphorically and also in themes. But because it was, I think remember on the GameCube they struggled to get a nice balance because obviously the game's full of shadows, the Shadow Realm and all that is meant to be really dark, and it is very dark in gameplay as well. So yeah, I love
Okay.
that theme for nostalgia's sake a lot of the time.
Sure.
And also just how beautiful it is with the choir.
Yeah, so yeah, that definitely sounds like it is a synth choir to me. But it's an impressive one. It like you can kind of tell by how the notes change that it's like that's not people, but there's a lot of depth to it.
It might have been like sampled.
Yes, quite possibly. Yeah, that's a good shout. Because it did sound very good.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's quite an old one. So
Yeah, I think it came out. I'm gonna double check because it's been ported onto the Wii U. But it came out on GameCube 2006. So yeah.
2006. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay. Well, next up is Chris's number 10.
Yes. So, on a cold, sad, COVID-y evening, 3 or 4 years ago, between 3 and 4 years ago, watching the PlayStation event that they do where they reveal their games after just finishing Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3.
Yep.
I heard this song for the first time in the reveal trailer for this game. And it also plays in the intro cutscene that starts if you spend too long in the opening menu. And I think it does a very good job of setting the tone of how bleak and oppressive the world is that you find yourself in.
Yeah.
So this is the intro to Demon's Souls PS5 remake.
Is that the? Remind me, is Demon's Souls? Is that like to do with like Dark Souls and Elden Ring and that sort of?
That
lore?
is the game that came out before Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is a spiritual successor to Demon's Souls.
Okay.
This is made by Bluepoint, who did the remaster for Shadow of the Colossus as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
And I remember because I was on the call with you when we were watching this, Chris.
Yeah.
And I saw the thing and immediately knew what it was. And I was like, oh my gosh!
I had no idea. I had barely any knowledge of this game whatsoever because I'd only just gotten into the franchise.
I still hadn't played it, but I knew the scene. And the opening cutscene is very good as well. It's very odd, but
it is slightly odd. It doesn't do the best job of showing off what the game's like.
Goes all over the place, but yeah.
They went straight in with that sort of spooky chord progression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I see exactly the feeling you mean.
Just by listening to this, you know you're gonna have a fun time with this game.
It's very big and bombastic.
Yeah.
But also slightly discordant in a it's not good.
It's very, very tense. It doesn't really resolve.
Yeah. You'll find that a lot with FromSoft, I think.
Yeah.
Until Elden Ring. Elden Ring was lots more.
Elden Ring made you feel a lot more heroic than any of the other games. In the other games, you feel like you're some random schmuck that somehow stumbled into being the hero of the story.
Yeah.
You know, in this game, you are the one other person who's not one of these legendary heroes who's managed to stumble into the rift into this kingdom.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can imagine listening to that live being awesome, like so good. Like the live.
Yeah, I don't know if that was done with a live orchestra. I wouldn't be surprised if it was because obviously it's in the original, so it's the remake, so it may well have been.
Yeah, so it is. I believe it's still based on the original.
It's very similar. It's very similar.
but they
But-
have made it more orchestral
Yes.
then, because there's a big side-by-side comparison of most of the soundtrack that you can do, and there's just an extra bit of strings in there. There's suddenly horns and drums that there weren't before.
Yeah.
Mixed in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, the whole kind of is all the main tune is very much the same piece.
That middle bit was so good. We like the dun dun, and it got faster and faster. I love that middle bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Very, very
Yes.
intense.
Very
Yeah,
intense, very
literally.
aggressive. Does not
Makes you
stop.
feel- it makes you feel kind of small in comparison. The fact that all
Sure.
these beasts you're gonna face.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
don't even know
so
much about Demon's Souls.
If this is what your list is going to be like, Chris,
Oh,
I'm
but-
terrified.
This is not a good sampling of my list. My list goes all over the place.
Chris's list and my list, I think, are the most variable.
I would say that my list is based on nostalgia mainly.
yeah, mine is as well. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so but Hayley's also has quite a bit of variety. And I have a feeling Demon's Souls may be on Hayley's as well, a bit higher. So, if it comes up in hers, she can speak to it next time. But we have Hayley's first one now. Again, she's not here, but I have some vague notes about what she has put. So at number 10 we have The Sims 4, which is very jolly, again nostalgic, and has a very fun theme with a lot going on, which represents the gameplay, like trying to keep your Sims from doing the dishes in the bathroom. Sort of soundtrack plays when the protagonist feels like they have all the possibilities of the world laid out before them. So let's give it a listen. Oh, and also the essence that you'd get from like a family comedy kind of thing.
Yeah, I can
That's
sort of
already
imagine the credits
It's restarted.
like featuring X as
Yeah,
this,
I was thinking
as
that.
Steven. They're just laughing in the background.
Made by so and so. This character.
Executive producer.
Hmm.
And they just do a long shot of like the whole town zooming in on the house. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting from this.
Absolutely.
And then this is the neighbors that they have next door, and yeah, I see it.
Yeah, they're doing it like sort of an anime OP in a way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
that kind
you
of
know, in like
structure to it.
like WandaVision, that sort of like
Yeah.
uncanny-ishness.
It's that style, yeah, and then you just kind of add more to it as
Yeah.
it goes. Cool. Okay.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's very cheery, very fun, and then you get the guitar, of course. Yep. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
And that's
Well
where
then.
the villain.
Sounds very similar to the other Sims ones, if I remember correctly.
I think The Sims certainly has a style.
Yeah.
And yeah, nostalgia-wise, it's The Sims 4 for Hayley. Okay, so next up we
bit
have
where it slightly goes out of that like pentatonic. Da, da, da. That's where the villain sort of pops up, but he's
Are
just
you
like a minor villain, you know.
yeah.
But are you the villain? Because you could be the hero of their character story, or you could be the villain.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Oh, Miller Yogurts. Whose is
Yes.
this?
I got a
We've
completely
got-
different advert
I've
for
got
investing.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
we've
quite
got
opposite
Villain as well.
spectrums.
You're doing your stocks.
Oh yeah,
Trading 212. Oh yeah.
it wasn't. I'm afraid.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so Tan, this is your
Yes.
number 10.
It's the theme to Grand Theft Auto 5. Welcome to Los Santos. It's a really good theme. First of all, it's got because GTA 5 is this. It's obviously a parody, but it includes this entire culture of Southern California, basically Los Angeles, that area, and it's kind of it's a bit like a hip hop song. It's got that. It's got a sort of pounding beat. It's got this signature bass line, do 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 do, that keeps playing, repeating throughout the entire thing. But it's also got influences from other segments of culture within Los Angeles and Southern California. You've got this little sort of slightly jazzy piano at the beginning with that melodic. You've got a few different instruments that sort of pop in and out that all represent different cultures, and it creates the whole soundtrack. The original soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto 5 is it's highly sort of ambient, progressive, experimental in a way. A lot of it was done by Tangerine Dream, who are also people behind
their name?
the soundtrack to like Risky Business, the film. Really, really good stuff. I love Tangerine Dream. This one, I don't think was, but and I love GTA 5. It's one of my most played games because I'm a schmuck who fell for online's like. You have many options to grind away for cash, virtual cash in the game, or you can spend 1,000 real life dollars, which I luckily didn't do.
Yeah.
Instead, I spent 1,000 hours playing the game.
Mm-hmm. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. But I have loved every minute of it.
And that's what matters. Okay, let's give it a listen.
But it just perfectly encapsulates the, you've got the sort of the gang violence in the with the hip hop beat that comes a little bit later, but also that was the end.
Oh, restart it, I guess.
You put it on the end.
I think that's probably the advert that did that.
Oh no, it must have not been synced.
Okay.
Oh well.
Is it starting again now?
Yeah. Here we are.
Because it started fine for me, so must be the ad confused it.
But that's with a little saxophone.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
That's bassy.
It's interesting because I played it briefly with you guys a couple of years back, and I don't remember hearing this at all.
Yeah.
This is what comes up if you start
It's the story mode.
Single player. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think I did the intro mission and was like, I'm not that big into shooting cops a bunch, so this isn't really for me.
This.
It sounds like
But I
Elon
did
Musk
miss out
there,
on
Ollie,
this.
Be careful.
So... I mean, yeah, not in that sense, but
it's a combination. You get that slightly sort of grungy, like you've got the deprived areas of Los Santos. It's gritty, it's dark, but also this is a place with high life as well. Like you have some of the richest people in the country living here as well.
The glam.
And the wah-wah guitar. Oh,
yeah.
It's a perfect encapsulation of the entire culture of Los Santos. I love it.
No, it's nice. Do we want to keep going, or can we pause it there?
You can pause it there.
Okay.
I've never played a GTA game. I've seen obviously other people play it, but like I've never really had chance to listen to any of the music from it. But that was so good.
Yeah, that's I do quite remember that, like the radio stations, being able to listen to them, just going through.
Yeah,
it always has some pretty interesting music on.
But if you turn all the radio stations off, you get the Tangerine Dream music. So like whenever you're in a plane, you get the song "We Were Set Up," which is very famous. And there's like this great sort of synth pop music that plays when you're in a cop chase, for example.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That leaves one number 10 remaining, which is mine. Which is I will say this list was like the first few. I was like, oh, this is easy. And then as I got towards the bottom, I was like, lots of my favorite games don't really have intro music.
That's the thing. Yeah, same.
So a lot of the games that I play, things like a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, for example, that's not really got an intro. It's got great music. So I'm sure I'll bring it up at some point, but there's no real intro theme for it. Lots of the kind of PlayStation games that I have, I don't really I don't really have intro music. And yeah, it's just one of the things I was like, I don't know.
Very true.
But this is one that I was like, this doesn't immediately come to mind. But MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries main theme,
Oh,
just again, it's one where it's just like the style of game it is. This I think perfectly encapsulates, and it just kind of gets you really hyped to play the game. Gets you in that mindset almost.
Hmm.
Which yeah, we don't listen to the whole thing, even like the first kind of 20-30 seconds. But it's just kind of that heavy mechs, more mechs, shooting, lots of guns, mech stuff.
Galaxy's horrible, and you've got a big robot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
perfectly kind of encapsulates that kind of vibe. I think anyway.
Cool. Okay.
It keeps playing even though I turn it to pause.
I can hear that. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Sounds like you get like suited into a Gundam. That sounds what that's like. You know.
Yeah. It's just the slow builds are very my thing as well.
It's got a
Sorry,
very
Chris,
distinct.
what were you saying?
I don't actually remember listening to the opening theme when we were playing this game. Maybe it's because I was the host.
Yeah, because like quite
maybe.
often when I'd be logging in and stuff, I'd just hear it and I'm like, yeah, this is great.
Mm.
But that's the main bit, and that's like the bit I'd usually hear before it would I'd get into the game. So
Got a very distinct sort of rhythm to those orchestral drums in the background. It's very
Yeah,
good.
I love that.
yeah. But yeah, it's one that I was like, yeah, no, I do really like that actually, and it really helps me kind of get into like the right feel for playing this game. Even if it's not one that's like an earworm for me or anything like that. But yeah, okay, so that's the number 10s.
We've done the number 10s and it's been 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I thought would happen, and that's that's fine by me. That's why we need 100 episodes of Steven Universe, Tan.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about. To be fair, there's a lot of Steven Universe episodes, but
10 minutes each. Those are though.
yeah. There's a lot to discuss with music, and like when you enjoy it. So next up, number 9. Emily, your number 9 is.
Okay. Yeah, I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. Ooh.
It's Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright's main theme.
It's a game.
It is. It's a 3DS game, and that is the game that I told you is so expensive now.
Oh.
So I know who Phoenix Wright is vaguely.
You don't know Professor Layton?
I don't know Professor Layton.
Oh,
What?
Professor Layton games were my jam back on the original DS, I think.
I never had a DS. Or anything like that. So yeah, a lot of Nintendo stuff is just like, I don't know what that thing is.
He is an English gentleman, professor, with his young child that he just sort of has with him, exploring different murder mysteries and solving them by solving puzzles.
Not all of them are murder mysteries, I'd say.
They're mysteries of some kind.
Yes, but there's always a twist with it. It's not always what you think it is on face value, and that's what Layton does so well as a game series. Like I said, it's got the puzzle aspect, but also the narrative aspect. Okay. And they make me cry because they are very good.
I mean, that sounds right up my street, but yeah.
You would love them.
Okay, well, Yes, so Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Let's play it, I guess.
So this is very much Layton's aspect with this sort of I don't really know what that instrument is. Yeah, there you go. That's a
Oh, the violin. Layton's
Yeah.
violin is amazing.
Mhm.
That is something I completely overlooked when picking mine. The Layton music was absolutely, especially coming out of a DS of all things.
Yeah, and then this bit.
Oh,
Nice. Good. Very cinematic-esque of Phoenix Wright, because I've played Layton more than Phoenix Wright. I've not played a single Phoenix Wright game, so I had to actually look up sort of what themes that Phoenix Wright's games have, and there is elements in there. I just cannot remember what it was.
Phoenix Wright tends to be very high tension music.
Which you do get from this a lot,
Yeah.
and the art is
that's
beautiful.
definitely the
as well.
horns, I'd say, is
Yeah.
Wow.
the tension, and then you've got the violin.
Yeah. It is a fantastic game. Like, the story is pretty fun. They're not really against each other. They sort of end up in a situation where they're stuck in a storybook, and it's sort of having to work together
Sure.
to uncover the mystery of witches and spellcraft and stuff. It's very good. I will give you a bit of a spoiler. Layton's probably coming back on my list, but I won't say which one.
I will look forward to that.
Yeah, which one it is.
I'm trying to remember which Professor Layton was my favourite now.
But yeah.
I know which one it is, and I'm not saying.
I mean,
I will make
hope
you
it
play
is,
these
it's your
games.
list.
Curious
Okay.
was the first one. Pandora's Box was probably my favourite one, though.
Yeah, that was a really good story. From when I remember
Those
that one.
are a complete mystery to me.
There's a
They
lot more
sound
Professor
pretty
Laytons
cool.
than I thought there were.
There's Curious Village. There's Pandora's Box, Lost Future. Then it's Spectre's Call. Then Miracle Mask, and then Arsran Legacy.
Yeah.
Not going by the American titles, because offense to the American titles, they're not as good as.
They're by
the
level
UK
5.
ones. Yes, yeah, that's why I got really excited when the new Layton game's coming out next year, because level 5 was all as good as gone. Like, their studio in America shut down, and then no one heard anything about them for years. Because the last Layton quote unquote game was Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy, but that didn't do well, unfortunately.
I did not realise that Level 5's first Nintendo game was Professor Layton.
Yeah, they've got their own little style as well. I feel like it's their franchises. Yeah. So hopefully, Ollie, I can convince you to play the Laytons. If you ever want to borrow them, I've got all of them.
Oh no, I mean, like, again, purely on premise, like mystery, story-driven puzzle thing.
Right.
Like, yeah, that sounds cool.
And it's by the same people who did Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I have not played Ni no Kuni.
I
I know
Fantastic.
Hayley has just perked up at Ni no Kuni. The one thing I know about Ni no Kuni is that one time you came round to my house, Chris, and we played table tennis for about an hour, maybe 2, and you just told me the plot.
Oh,
one of the games.
That sounds about right.
It was
You're
the witch
like
one.
My list.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. And I had no idea what you were talking about, but it sounded kind of interesting. But like I had no context for what it was, so it got very confusing. But yeah, no, I did see on some of the lists Ni no Kuni. I was like, yep, that makes sense. However, next up we have Chris's
Number 9. So, a complete 180 from the last one.
Yeah.
Absolute change. We've got the Stardew Valley Overture from Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
The game in general absolutely amazes me because all of the artwork, all of the coding, all of the writing, and all of the music was done by just the one guy.
That is upsetting.
Concerned Ape.
In the best possible way, that is upsetting.
And you'd think that a game made by one person doing literally everything would have a weak spot somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
but in my mind, it doesn't at all, and especially not in the music.
Very cool. I still need to play more of it. I've barely played any. I did play the board game. We played it very wrong. But that was fun. But I need to get back into it because I did quite enjoy it. But yeah, let's have a listen.
It's on my to play list because I feel like with those sort of like what do you call it, like slice of life sort of simulator games, they can get very repetitive.
It's just a nice comfy game, really.
Mhm.
I think this intro especially does a very good job of just calming you down and just letting you know this is going to be a chill experience.
Completely different to the one that I just showed, because obviously that one gets you hyped. That one's like, oh man, what's going to happen? But this one's like, nice. I like this.
Yeah. It's like, Mech Warrior's very adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
Gets the Black Pumpkin. This is, much
calming
more
games.
calming.
I'm just like, my brain is just always tells me, like, no, you need to get back on the grind set. No calming games for you.
You do get actually quite an aggressive grind on this game. You've always got beautiful music to help you with it.
Calm you down. So
multiple different seasonal songs, just to sort of get used to. You're a bit more excited and a bit more exotic, perhaps, in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the winter's a lot more sort of calm and cozy feeling.
Yeah, nice.
Is that pan flute? You know, the little loop in there.
I would assume so. It's some sort of.
It could
flute.
well be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can leave that
I
there
like
for
this.
now.
Okay.
It does get a little bit funky as it goes on. If you're just loading into the game, you only really get the first bit where it's only really one instrument going. But as it goes on, you start to bring in.
Get yourself a really slow hard drive so you can listen to it for as long as possible.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, very, very different to the number 10 you had. Okay, so Hayley's next one is yes, this one, which I think comes up on another list a little bit higher.
Oh, I've got an advert.
Yep.
Oh, I don't. So let me know when that's done.
Dude.
There we go.
I've got 2 adverts.
Chris, no.
No.
I've got a lube paper advert that's just staring at people's asses.
Oh.
It's done.
Cool.
YouTube, sort your ads out. Come on.
Minecraft.
A Minecraft song in specifically, or just
the Minecraft title screen music?
There are 3.
Da, 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 da.
The one that's playing now, which is that one, yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Iconic.
I think that might be the first one. But yeah, nostalgia reasons was primarily thing here.
No, I mean C418's absolute genius.
Yeah, this needs no explanation in my mind.
And getting into some more Hayley's stuff, because she's a pianist, the typically excessive use of the extend pedal builds the theme more and more as you go in, like the gameplay itself, as you explore the world, build your bases, and so on. And the different elements then further add in longer you listen to the theme, which in my opinion shows off the different dimensions that you explore as it goes.
Yeah. Way that sort of the brass slowly fades in and builds that's the sort of stuff that gives you goosebumps and chills.
Yeah.
Like in anything. And C418 with his little pianos makes the game feel like really somber but uplifting at the same time, like an exploration. The only issue I have with Minecraft soundtrack is that most of the time it's not playing.
Oh, really?
And then sometimes it just shows up. And
yes, and that's why I turn the music off, because I want to listen to something all the time.
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I leave it on because if I'm playing Minecraft, I'm usually playing with other people. I'm happy to just talk to them, and then when it comes on, it's just like a nice surprise. But there was one period where I think I turned it off because I was just doing a lot of base building and I just needed something to focus. And the music's a bit too chill for that.
I always
But-
find the intro music, especially for the Minecraft music, it makes me feel quite lonely.
It does.
Mm,
It certainly sets you up for the solo Minecraft experience. at
Yeah.
least, where
absolutely.
you do have this vast world that you're going on all these adventures, but it is just on your own.
It's just you. Yeah. Yeah, with like how now with how all the instruments have, faded back out and it's just the piano again. Yeah, it's like this grand adventure, but it is just you by yourself. Well, that got a bit sad, so let's
It really changes.
Oh.
It's the same song, but it changes
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
way you feel playing it if you're playing multiplayer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, Tan.
Okay, this might
You're
be one
number
of the
9.
most. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Maybe the most niche game on just out of that's going to appear
Sure.
Okay.
here. This
I
is
was expecting niche from you.
this is a Super Nintendo game called Power Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little rally game. It was also on the Amiga and the Genesis, but the Super Nintendo version is my favorite form of the soundtrack.
Sure.
At some point, I don't even remember when, many, many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I just sort of came across the soundtrack, like the entire soundtrack, as one long mix, and I downloaded it,
Mm-hmm.
and I had it on my computer, and I would just listen to it over and over again, not having played the game it came from. I think I was looking for, because there was a Kickstarter for a game called Power Drive 2000, which was more recent, but I think they ran away with the money after making a demo. Glad I didn't back that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for that, and I found this, and then I played the game, and it's pretty darn good. But it's good luck finding any content of it at all anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
It's niche, it's rare, it's from like I don't even know when it came out. But given it was on the Amiga, probably a long time ago.
Probably older than us.
1994. in
Older than
fact.
us.
Older than us.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You can buy it for £395 for the SNES.
Oh.
Huh?
So I don't think I will.
Fair.
Do you have a
It's
SNES?
not anymore.
No.
Oh.
It is. There's something about it. It's kind of, and the whole soundtrack is like this. It's kind of the closest you can get to pop out of the SNES's sound chip, and it's very like melodically heavy, and I just really like it. Let's
give it a
give it a
listen.
listen. We don't need to listen to it. It repeats a few times because this was the only video I could find that had it.
Oh boy.
That does look old.
Yep. The language select screen. And then there we go, it begins.
Oh, it's not playing for me. That's really weird. Is it playing for all of you?
It is playing.
Oh, it's not playing for me. There we go.
Oh wow!
Yep.
I see what you mean by the pop-ish thing, like with that.
Yeah, it's old school.
Ooh.
That sure is some gameplay.
Yep. It's a top-down racing game.
That's an interesting
This is
concept.
absolutely the kind of game I was expecting from you.
Yep.
100%.
You know.
It suits you to
Yeah,
a T.
I mean, yeah. When I saw Tan's and Emily's list, I was like, yeah, this absolutely tracks. Most of
It's
Chris's
so-
did, but there is a much more.
It's so
It feels more varied.
jolly, but like all of the melodies, as is sometimes the case with like a SNES game, they just go completely ham on the keyboard. Go It's
Yeah.
just crazy. I love it.
They do.
And the song that plays during the like world map reminds me incredibly of Fade to Grey. which is a pop song from the 80s, and I like this soundtrack.
Makes me think of Death by Glamour a bit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I can see that.
the Undertale soundtracks did use a lot of SNES
Yeah.
sounds, so yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It kind of
Cool.
looks like it could be an arcade game as well. Like, you're just like scrolling past an arcade and you come across that, with all the.
Probably would be, yeah. You'd find it
See that.
alongside Daytona USA, which is one of the games I would have put on there if I wasn't sure whether it was licensed or not. So I decided not to.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Okay.
On the list where we do include licensed songs, spoiler
Yep.
alert, might be on there.
We will do some. We will do at least a couple of them, I'm sure. So number 9 for me was going to be one thing, and then I remembered something else, and it changed. Because again, the bottom half of my list was a bit like, I can't really think of what I put here. And I had Spiritfarer, which is a
Oh,
really
yeah,
pretty
I've heard of it.
game, gorgeous game. And it doesn't have much music for its title theme. It's just
Mm.
kind of a little bit there, and it is kind of cozy but slightly sad. And I was like, yeah, that'll do for number 9, because I do quite like it, and it does for the atmosphere. But I'd forgotten something, which again, it's not much of a theme. And that is the title theme for Returnal,
Oh,
Ooh.
this game.
which is a game that I saw when it came out and was like, that seems cool.
Yeah.
Don't have a PlayStation to play it, and then I got it and I played it for a few hours, really enjoyed it, and just haven't gone back to it because I do play more Elden Ring and other things, and I need to play more of it because it's really fun. But
What's it about?
it's a third-person bullet hell sci-fi horror roguelike.
Oh,
Time travel.
It's like there's time travel involved, and you're like on this planet, and there's all these like kind of Lovecraftian eldritch entities, but they shoot bullets at you like it's a bullet hell. And you're trying to explore and figure out what's going on. And it's kind of creepy. But the action's really solid. Like all the guns feel different, and that you can hold down the half trigs and stuff on the PlayStation 5 because of it's an awesome controller. The haptics feel great. But it's not even the entire soundtrack. The sound it plays within the first like couple of seconds just gives you the vibe, I think, immediately. And I suddenly went, oh shoot, yeah, I've not put that on there. I need to put that on there. And so sadly, Spiritfarer had to go because the others could not. But yeah, I'll play it, and hopefully it's not going to cut it off or anything like that. Just that one note. It's just very uncomfortable.
Because like you said, it was one of those games that came out, and I feel like not many people talked about it. It didn't feel like
it's very good.
I hadn't heard of it.
It is. I think it might be. It might be on PC as well.
was it on
I
like
thought it
that
was one of
one?
Ooh.
But it might be a PlayStation
I think it was one of those PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah,
exclusives.
probably. Yeah.
And that'd be right. But I've really enjoyed what I played of it. But yeah, that sound, and then just kind of the atmosphere, just kind of again like kind of the uncomfortableness, the isolation, just really really quite like how it makes you feel uneasy.
They really utilize I think it's a single semitone step up and then back down.
Yeah.
Oh, that is that's really effective.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely again we need to go back to and play a bit more, because I have not come close to finishing it. But one of the things that when you turn on, you hear the sound, and it's like, ugh. Yeah,
Definitely one I'll look into.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so that is number 9 dealt with. So number 8. Emily, your number 8 track.
Yeah.
is.
Going back to a 3DS game now.
Oh, another one.
It's Fire Emblem.
Mhm.
Primarily Awakening, because it saved the franchise.
Another thing I have heard much of and have not played at all.
They are
Indeed.
fun.
Same.
They are very fun, especially Awakening. I feel like because it was like the Fire Emblem as a series, like not many people heard about it. Like it was more of a Japan thing than anything else. Because obviously, when Nintendo took the chance to obviously bring this game over to the DS, which obviously was Awakening, it did so well. Like it literally saved the franchise because obviously not. It was like a trial, so they're like, okay, let's see how this does, and it did really well. And obviously now we've got Fire Emblem Three Houses and the new one. I don't remember its name at the moment. Engage. That's it. So there's more games coming out now for this franchise, and it's a lot of fun. Basically, especially with Awakening. Awakening's just great.
I
yeah.
heard about it from Dan.
Yes, Dan's the one I
Dan
heard.
really
Yeah.
likes them.
Tactical RPG, yeah.
But it was odd because he described it as tactical RPG, and in my head that's things like XCOM and stuff like that, and very military. And then I saw the artwork and I was like, oh, that's not what I thought it was at all. Yeah, he missed that part out. So it was not at all what I thought it was. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else to add, or shall we listen?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything at the moment. Obviously, it's mainly just it like you said, it's military, but with like fantasy stuff. So you've obviously,
Sure.
I could.
For us now, I didn't go back and check if I had particular fond memories of the Valkyria Chronicles 1 or 4 openings.
Obviously, it's very
I do
anime.
quite like those games, but
yeah, this is very anime inspired as well. Like you can get married and relationships and stuff, and it's just like the different changes with the.
Ooh.
This is a bit from software.
Was that a key change when it built up?
Yeah, it was. The tempo changes as well.
This opening changes a lot. I can see it in my head. Because it's all about, these characters. Obviously, your character is an amnesiac, and they wake up in a field, and you join Crom, who's the main character.
Perfect game for Dan.
Yeah. And
you're a stranger in a strange land.
Stranger in a strange land.
Yeah.
Naturally.
This is Awakening's theme.
Oh, that really does change styles.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is almost like a suite. But it's One Piece, so yeah.
No, it's not One Piece. It's Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Very adventure-esque as well. Even it's
you absolutely get it from that.
Yeah, and it just cuts. Yeah, just nostalgia. I love this game so much. I'm replaying it again on hard because basically what happens is as well is the characters that you order into battle, they can either come back, they're fine, or they are gone forever. So your choices really matter with the tactical aspect of this game. So it really packs a punch. They are straight up gone. So
sure.
Hard classic is very brutal sometimes because AI can be fun, but no, Fire Emblem Awakening was one of those games on the DS at the time. Just it's a great fantasy RPG. If you get the chance to play it, please do.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
I like adventure RPGs.
Very, very adventure, very anime. You do have that change right at the start, like it's like happy minor key for like 5 seconds, and then it goes very happy again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like what's going on here? But
which is
very
good.
cool. Okay, Chris.
Yes.
Number 8.
My number 8 is the song Hollow Knight from the game Hollow Knight, which is another 180 shift.
It is.
Back to quite bleak. I think this song does a very good job at portraying just how lonely you feel wandering around Hallow Nest.
This is one that was on my list, but I saw it on Chris's, and I was like, okay, I'll come up with something else. And I think this might be again higher on Hayley's too. But have you finished the game yet?
I have not. I have made 3 attempts to finish the game, but it is one of those kinds of games that you put down for a week or two, try to pick back up, and at that point you realise you've lost every single skill that you've built up over that time.
I love this game. The music is wonderful, and again, this is Team Cherry's like I think 2 people.
What?
So again, like so much of it's just done by one guy. Like I think all like the story stuff and things like that's one guy, and then like the music and the designs the other. I can't remember, and I might be wrong with that. But it again, very impressive. Silk Song might exist.
Silk Song when?
Whenever they decide to release it.
It's been years. But yeah, no, Hollow Knight is great.
It's
and
all
yeah.
it's hand drawn, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
All the frames are hand drawn, so it's got a beautiful art style. It's weird. It all looks quite dark, but it's still got a bit of a cozy feel to it in certain areas.
It's still cozy, and some of the music's very cozy. A couple of the people like City of Tears is very kind of cozy, but yeah.
And it is one of those games that no matter how much I've played it, I've refused to turn the music off and put on something else while I play, which I tend to do a lot with games. So.
You do, yeah.
It's high up.
I like that the main character's like, it's just like a little guy.
It's just a little thing.
He's a little guy.
He really is.
I mean, most of the characters are just little
characters
things.
are little guys. They're bugs.
I mean, yeah, they're all bugs. They're all really little.
Yeah.
Should we go then?
Let's get going, yeah.
Isn't this game as well notorious for its difficulty?
It's pretty hard.
It is pretty hard, yeah.
It's pretty hard.
This actually reminds me that there was a game I neglected to put on mine and probably should have. Oh well. I'll come back to it in a different video.
I'm sure, we can do this again. We can put it on there.
We will.
Very somber.
Yeah,
very.
What is the basic plot of Hollow Knight? Because I don't know.
How far have you got, Chris?
I have gotten quite far. I've gone down in the thing and got the thing.
Okay.
I've gone in was it a dead worm or something I went inside?
Yeah. Okay.
Gay bugs.
Not quite.
Darn it.
Maybe?
I only know it from Tumblr.
Genderless asexual bugs.
Yeah. Except for one.
Gay.
And then it starts again. So Hollow Knight is about you, the knight, going to this place.
But maybe not. People are arguing over whether you played Hollow Knight in Hollow Knight or
no, you're the knight.
You are the knight.
Your character is known as the knight. Going to this eternal kingdom called Hallow Nest, which has fallen to ruin. And everyone there is affected by this plague of the mind that's been affected by something, and you're just exploring around, speaking to people, saving kind of the few main people that can be saved, and just learning the history of this place. It's very much a Souls-like in how you uncover the lore. It's a lot of environmental storytelling,
where you've gone to a place very much after all of the shit has gone down.
Yes. Yeah. But the wider story of what happened and what caused everything to go wrong, and then what was sacrificed to try and save it, and it still didn't work, is very sad. and there's a very good lore video on it by Mossbag, which is it's hilarious and it covers everything very well. But I would highly recommend playing it.
Eventually,
And,
I'll put it on my playlist that is
yeah.
ever growing.
Yeah, but yeah, the no, Chris is absolutely right. It is a very good. Not super depressing if you don't read anything. And you just go through the game as a game. But... boss themes in it as well. Oh, hi, Chris.
You're
I
back.
kept on trying to talk and having an Ollie disappearing and appearing.
Oh no.
There may have been some issues.
There may have been some connection issues there.
Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
I can,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everything's fine now.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Good.
Could you not hear me before?
I
You
heard
sort of-
bits of what you were saying.
You sort of talked and then it sort of cut, didn't it, for a little while, and then you
Oh.
joined back in. I don't know whether.
If that happens again, someone tell me, and then I'll stop talking. Yeah, no, I was just saying, it's got one of my favorite boss, like quote unquote final boss themes, which is again kind of very mournful and sad. But yeah, that's for another list. So next, number 8 is Hayley's number 8. And that is Animal Crossing New Horizon.
Adverts.
Ah.
Yay.
Yep. Adverts.
Would you like to lick the creamy yogurt?
No.
I got the same one.
We've all got the same one.
Then there's a picture shown of the lady with an incredibly
Long
long
tongue.
tongue. And
She's
I'm like,
worried that if she licks
It
the yogurt,
becomes this. What's it?
kids will do.
makes me all flustered.
That one enemy from Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh god, the lickers from Left 4 Dead 2 are horrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is Animal Crossing's New Horizons. This is an hour, so we're not listening to the whole thing. I think she quickly grabbed what things she could find. But yeah, it's a jolly tune that's free and utilizes a lot of percussive instruments that a Western audience in particular would think of on holidays to warm areas, aka the Macarenas, the maracas. Just overall very comforting and does a very good job of making one feel at ease. Which we will see. But...
Because I think, if I remember correctly, the composer for this Animal Crossing thing is different from like all the others who did the music previously, if I remember correctly.
quite possibly. I don't know much about Animal Crossing, so
It's a good game, New Horizons. It does get a bit repetitive as they do, but it is the creative freedom aspect of it has been the best in the series by
Yeah.
far.
Perfect Storm, and it came out just after COVID, didn't it? So
It helped us through those
Yes.
dark days, definitely.
It gives you a feeling of freedom, this theme, because it plays very fast and loose with like time signatures, you know?
yeah,
Yes.
Not all of it is just on a 4 on the floor beat. Sometimes it just like starts and stops.
Oh yeah, it's got every different theme. Every single hour in the game has got a different theme, and it's awesome.
this is starting again for now, so we'll
Mhm.
we'll leave that there. But yeah, no, there's very very kind of free, very holiday kind of feel, cozy, happy, upbeat. Yeah, what she said pretty much. Cool.
Did you know that?
Okay. Next, number 8
I'm excited for a Tan song.
comes from
Mm.
Tan.
Have I heard of this game before? Probably.
You have.
I
This
have.
is another old game. Mega Man
Yeah.
3.
Ah.
I wanted to pick one from the Mega Man series I love so much. They're all pretty good. Some of the themes are way better than others.
Mhm, mhm.
Mega Man 3, in general, has some of the most like melodic themes, like the Proto Man's very short ditty when he pops up. They're going do 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 do, like a whistle, but the theme is very 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 different, and it gives you this like super heroic, or as close as the NES can get to heroic, with just some like some saw waves and square waves. As close as you can get to heroism on an S sound chip, with some really nice like some really nice, not really chord progressions, because again the NES can only play like 3 notes.
Yeah.
But the way a lot of them sort of they create a faux chord progression with the notes that are played or with arpeggios. So it's very very interesting, and this one's very good.
Okay.
I had to pick number 3. I could have picked like Mega Man X or something, but this one probably my favorite.
Mega Man 3, and it's exactly 3 minutes. So there we
We
go.
definitely don't need to listen to all of it though.
Oh, I love it.
It's very cool.
Hmm.
And then we get on to the classic.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's that one. Really
Cool.
good. It
That's
was
a
a
lot of
toss up.
fun.
Was a toss up at the beginning between like that and Mega Man 2, which is I went with this one.
Mhm.
It's just very heroic.
It's-
Very, very heroic.
Very heroic. It's very interesting because it's like if you listen to each individual piece, like there's not actually that much going on there, but combined, it feels like there's a lot more to it. So it almost feels like one of those kind of big orchestral pieces, even though it's just not that much. It's like 4 sounds maybe, which is really cool. It's also very interesting. I find that like thanks to games like Undertale and other kind of things with 8-bit sounds that we got again almost, like this doesn't feel like old music to me. It just feels like music, which is
It's true.
really cool.
I might try and reorchestrate this one sometime, like turn it into
That would be cool.
a sort of orchestral theme,
That would be
because I think that would be
pretty cool.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Like I like the start, and then it just like transitions into the That's very cool.
Yeah, Mega Man music
cool
is very
indeed.
good.
I have got a bunch of them, and I've played them quite a bit, and yeah, the music was always pretty great. Okay. Final number 8 is my one, and this is another one where it's like the music's kind of there. It's more subdued, and that is from the 2016 God of War.
I'm noticing that a lot of your picks were more subdued.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
We will-
all of everyone's except me.
Mine.
We will get to a couple more of mine, which are more. This is just a theme, and the theme plays. But yeah, I had to kind of dig around a bit because, yeah, I think a lot of the things, like a lot of your games, are like just straight up like old school action or old school racing, which is like the kind of high octane punchiness, and yeah, so yeah, having those be subdued would be kind of odd, I guess. But yeah, so God of War, when it came out, obviously very different to the previous 3. Story-wise, very different Kratos, very different style of gameplay as well. and
art style as well.
art style very different. Obviously, just much prettier because it's newer. But also very different music. The music for this is done by Bear McCreary, who I hadn't really heard of until I watched playthroughs of this. I'm only actually getting to play myself recently, but I watched so many playthroughs when it first came out. And the music is gorgeous. He also did the music for Battlestar Galactica, which we are watching on the channel, and that's got great music. Lovely music in Battlestar. And I think Vikings as well, which is a show I've heard good things about, but I've not watched. But he does excellent music, and this is another one where it's got one of those themes that comes back a lot. But it's kind of very faintly playing because it's emulating the title screens of the previous God of War games, but those are very much the war part, and it's all kind of raging and very in your face. And this is much more subdued again. But yeah, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to hear, or if we'll just hear trees and the wind rustling, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure the theme is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard good things about God of War. A lot of won a lot of awards, I think, back in Game Awards. Was it a couple of years ago?
It won last year, or the year
Yeah.
before last now, technically.
Yeah.
The best performance in a game. Christopher Judge
Yeah.
got it. And he made a very emotional speech. And it was a very good time.
Yeah.
Enjoyed by all. Except for Jeff Keighley, because it meant he had to give away some extra Steam Decks because it was so long.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Was
Was
interesting.
that
Yeah, they had a thing going that every 2 minutes of the show they were giving away a Steam Deck.
Right.
And Christopher Judge's speech was so long that he immediately joked afterwards that a few extra people were getting given Steam Decks there. I guess.
And then as a result of that, this year they imposed a hard limit on how long you could speak for, and it was
they had a hard limit for the show length, which meant that the Game of the Year, when they're at the end, had their time massively reduced.
Yeah,
which is
and so they were cut off in the middle of them dedicating the award to their deceased co-creator, who died like a month before the game came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the picture with the big "wrap it up" sign.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a big controversy, wasn't it? Because it's like,
And then this year they went so hard about the other way, like with Neil Newborn's speech, like he clearly wanted to say some more stuff, and it was just like he got cut off, and that really sucked. Anyway, God of War. There is a woman's voice. I don't know if you guys have been able to catch it.
I could hear it.
But yeah, that's kind of like the theme of Kratos' wife. And I'm not sure if it's meant to be like her voice or what, but it's a gorgeous voice, and it's just a really pretty theme, and it comes back a few times again further into the game, because that's kind of what the whole game is about, is taking this final journey to this isn't a spoiler. It's the first thing that happens is Kratos and his son taking Kratos' wife / his son's mother's ashes to the highest peak. And it's just a very emotional journey, and that's kind of the music that comes back along with it. And yeah, I really like the music, and I kind of just wanted to get it on here somewhere. And I was like, the intro has music, right? Yeah, it does, just about. So there we go. I swear the rest of mine are more musical, I think. But yeah, they are. But yeah, no. Again, I'm sure I'll on another list be able to do more God of War music, proper music. But yeah, just the kind of sporadic humming you get every now and again. It's very pretty. Even though it's mostly ambient sound. Because it is one of those games as well that when you click new game, it just goes straight into him chopping the tree.
I was about to say, is he going to chop the tree? Because it looks like he's literally about to do it.
Immediately into it. It's bonkers. Okay.
You're sort of stuck in that vision. All you hear is like her voice, and then, like you said, it's the cutting of the tree, the snapback reality of like keep going on that journey.
Indeed.
I've not played any God of War, so that's just the only Surviving.
It's certainly an interesting one. This one's definitely a game about mourning.
Mm.
And also Kratos connecting with his son, because they definitely did not have a close relationship before
They did not.
all this happened.
But yeah, it's an incredible game, and the story, the music, the combat, the relationship.
I do very much like that they acknowledge the first 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so. A lot of these remakes, they completely reboot it, but this is just very much a continuation.
Yeah, in every way, it's just a masterfully done remake, sort of. Yeah,
it's a soft reboot.
It's a soft reboot.
Yeah,
it's they Doctor Who'd it. So yeah, it's great. Okay, next up we have Emily's number 7.
I think what my numbers. Yeah, there we
in
go.
the corner.
It's the yogurt advert.
Can't lick a yogurt in front of your students. They're going to think you're weird.
They're going to draw pictures that make me blush.
Yeah, pictures of you with a really long tongue and show their parents.
Oh no.
There we go.
Okay.
Foreshadowing. My next bit is Ni no Kuni, the music done by Joe Hisaishi, who does all of the music for Studio Ghibli. And the fact that this whole game was illustrated by the company themselves as well, which is great.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
It is Ghibli, yeah. It's the only one time they've worked on a game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cutscenes were hand-drawn Ghibli animations.
Yeah,
I did not know that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like the right music, yeah.
It's a very beautiful game. This probably one of the best stories I've played on the PlayStation, because it's about, obviously, Ni no Kuni. I think it roughly translates to another world. Yeah.
The first isekai.
I think.
It was not the first.
No. It's a very Should I give a brief synopsis of this game?
It translates to second country.
Second country, that's it. Because Sekai as well, I couldn't really work out top of my head. Because obviously you play as this character Oliver. They're in this little motor town.
Whoa, crazy.
I don't want to spoil it. Something happens. Fantasy stuff ensues, and you get isekai'd, and it's just a fantasy one. When you play the theme, you'll understand what sort of journey it is.
Sure, I've got the whole plot somewhere in my head when Chris told me.
Yeah, but yeah, you still got it. I haven't played it.
But no, I've not played it. But maybe I will. I didn't know it was all Ghibli.
It's all Ghibli, and it's
very cool.
It's sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. Really, it's like Pokemon, but also JRPG, and it's not. It's real time rather than turn based.
Yeah, which is really quite cool.
Yeah,
because I think
they changed it up for the second game.
Oh, I haven't played the second game, unfortunately.
I have played a bit of the second game, and it was changed up, and they had an extra armies battle mode that they had. It was a bit strange.
Interesting.
It's certainly interesting. The second game, instead of playing as nice small child Oliver, the main character, the first person you play as, is the president of the United States who got nuked.
Oh, wait, what?
To another world.
Oh, okay.
Which is certainly something. So you turn up in this fantasy world with a gun.
Oh, what the?
Just.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an interesting time.
There's also a film. There's a film on Netflix as well called Ni no Kuni, which is completely different to the game. Well, same premise-ish, but different characters. I actually tell a lie. No, actually, I won't spoil that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Unless you want me to spoil it, if you don't care about spoilers. But
okay.
Actually, I won't, in case any viewers are listening who've not played the game or watched the film. Please do.
Let's listen to it then. Yep, that sounds like Ghibli.
Yep.
Oh, it's a beautifully done soundtrack.
I will still never forget. I found about this game, funny enough, from you, Chris. You told me about it, and then I saw a YouTube ad for it, and it's just not gone back. The one time YouTube ads did something right and got me to buy the game. Oh,
It was a wonderful game, and I never quite finished it. I got to the final boss, and I was very heavily underleveled.
Oh,
and I started grinding. I started grinding, but I gave up on the grind before I could do it.
Just grind Tokos. They literally give you like the biggest XP in the game.
Yeah, I went to the Toko Island.
Yeah.
In the middle of the sea. Oh, memories. What a game.
I love the middle bit. I just want to we'll get to the middle bit. If you know the Chris, you know that little yeah.
Oh yeah, this bit coming up.
Yep.
Da-da-da. Da-da-da. It has got a very adventurous and heroic style to it.
But also fantastical.
Yeah,
it's very fantastical. It's
all done by the Japanese orchestra.
Philharmonic.
Yeah, orchestra. That's it. I can hear Joe Hisashi just like conducting the musicians as I listen to this. And it goes up a little bit, and then
very, very Ghibli.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it is.
So,
like specifically gives me Spirited Away vibes.
Yeah,
like a little bit.
Some of those opening parts, like was like I've heard these sounds before. But that is
swells again.
A bad thing.
I just want to get to the drop. There's it swells up again. Oh, it's so good. Also, I love the creativity in this game as well. Like the first city you go to is all like cat themed. Like because their leader is the king is a cat.
Yeah.
Like, no explanation, just cat.
One of the main characters in the game is Welsh, very heavily Welsh.
Yep. That's trippy. Little guy. I forgot.
I don't know what else we can say without spoiling things. Really,
the
art's beautiful. The different creative choices.
Yeah,
it's so nice. It's all very whimsical and
everything's
light-hearted
good
for the most part, but also quite terrifying at other parts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how old were we when this came out?
Were we in college?
Yeah.
No, we were in secondary school.
Secondary school.
Yeah.
2010.
Low secondary school.
Oh
yeah,
wow, the year of hope.
So we were 11.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, I was 11 at the time.
Yeah.
So it did. Yeah. There were bits that did, somewhat scare me because we were still quite young.
Yeah, there's one thing that sits in my head.
Yeah, I think this was Christmas of 2010. I got it specifically.
Oh wow, God! I'm still waiting for I know it's on the Switch now, but
it's on PC.
That's it. Yeah, I forgot it says that at the end. Yeah, it's
okay.
Beautiful game.
Make note of that then.
Yeah, yes. Please do. It's fantastic. Oh, it sticks. Chris has pretty much summed it up really well. It's just a beautiful game, great story, great characters, music obviously spot on. Joe Hisashi is a great Japanese composer, and he's very wholesome. Loves all the Have you ever watched any Ghibli films? Like Ponyo comes to mind with that. Like any Ghibli really.
I did a remaster of it, and it's still very expensive.
It's still very expensive. Yes.
I
still did buy it, and I have played very little of the remaster. But it's
what was different from the remaster to the original one?
It's
not
newer.
Much. It's just the updated graphics.
Oh,
it looks better,
okay.
And it's on PC now.
And it's on PC. Yeah, cool. Okay, nice. Next up is Chris's.
What have you got, Chris?
So here comes my first of possibly a couple repeats.
Yeah.
Because I have also chosen Minecraft music.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went more specific. I went for beginning to.
Yes.
Okay. What's the difference between beginning to and the other?
I mean, if you listen to this one, you'll see it's a different piece to. I think the one that Hayley chose.
So when you go onto the intro screen for Minecraft, 3 different songs could start playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I narrowed it down specifically to this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say really, apart from all the stuff I said before for Minecraft.
Yeah.
I like the piece. It's a beautiful piece. It does make me feel very lonely when I listen to it. But it's It's one of those songs that I will, if I'm playing another game that doesn't have particularly good music, I turn the in-game music off for that game and I put some of this on.
Sure, yeah. Let's give it a listen.
Heck yeah.
Very different vibe. I can still hear like the
Same leitmotif, but
yeah, but
Yep.
different vibe.
yeah.
This one is incredibly somber. What's the other one that plays?
So there's beginning to. There's I did have this up.
Because we've
What
heard
happened to
two of them. I
beginning
can't
one?
remember what the other one is.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not beginning 1. I don't know why it's beginning 2. This is going to help. Minecraft wiki music.
Ooh.
And the choral sounds, but also that sort of high-passed saw chord.
Yeah.
It just gives that extra sort of high-end fizz.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's the saw wave.
Mm-hmm. It's very
So
cool.
there's Mutation. There is Moog City 2, Beginning 2, or Floating Trees.
Oh damn!
Huh.
So there's more than we thought.
There's 4.
I think it's pronounced Moog, as an
Moog.
aside. It's a brand of synthesizer.
Oh, okay.
I assumed it was Swedish because are they Swedish C4? C4?
I believe so, but I have no idea.
But yeah, that's more lovely piano.
Oh, the German. Or at least the main producer.
I do have to wonder how they're gonna, that Minecraft film that they're making. I do have to wonder if they're gonna even incorporate any musical.
Yeah, it'd be strange.
I mean, a key component of Minecraft is the music, so
We shall have to see.
we will see.
Exactly.
We will see. Because I mean, they're still making new music for Minecraft, I think. So.
I think the film is a live action, isn't it, or is it animated?
I don't know.
No, it's been sort of been radio silent.
All I know is that Jack Black is in it again.
Yes.
Are they going to make his face more square to turn into
that's
like
why I'm
Steve?
like, I don't know if it is real life or real life live action or not.
Don't do a live action hybrid. That'd be awful.
I mean, I don't think they would.
Plenty of YouTube live action Minecrafts.
Yeah, there is.
And they all go very well.
They do.
But no, beautiful track.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yes, it is.
I say nice, but it is all nice.
Yeah. I think okay, so we've gone through all the Hayley ones that I had. I think I have one more, which was like this. I'm not sure if this counts, but I can't think of many.
Oh.
And I do kind of like this because she's played a lot of games that don't really have music, and a few games a lot, and they'll come up at the top end of the list. But she did say that she kind of liked this, and I'm pretty sure it's this thing, which is very short. It's from a game that me and Chris have played a fair bit of, but have probably never heard this.
Oh,
GTFO.
GTFO intro. That is not what I was expecting.
What is this game? I keep seeing it.
It is I guess you could call it an extraction shooter, in a way.
In a sense, it is. Yeah.
You go down into a mysterious facility.
Okay.
To do certain tasks and then get out.
Okay.
Your health and ammunition are extremely limited.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying your best to be stealthy and silently take out the enemies, because if you shine a torch on them, or if you move near them when they're in their listening state, they will wake up and wake all the others up and murder you. You have got to be incredibly careful and methodical to get through. It's how we play it. I have seen people play it where they run through like a madman and somehow make it.
The people who are good at the game are bonkers. But also at that point, it's like that's not really what the game is supposed to be like. We did R1C1 the other day, a couple of rounds of it, and we got right to the end, and then I forgot that you had to extract, and so we completed the reactor and then lost. So
Wonderful.
that was very sad. But no, in their own words, because I think this is the bit. GTFO is a hardcore cooperative horror shooter
Oh, okay.
that throws you from gripping suspense to explosive action in a heartbeat. And yes, like it's very easy to describe it using the exact same words as Lethal Company, but the two things could not be more different.
Okay.
But yeah, going into an old facility with limited resources to get stuff while there are terrible monsters. Yep, that could be both, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But this is, I think, the intro from like the theme from like the announcement trailer or something maybe.
Okay.
It's very short. It's only 25 seconds. I don't even know if it's got sound the whole time, but Hayley's just like it's kind of cool. And I like it. So there we go.
Work together
I
or
want to
die
try
together.
this. This sounds fun.
It is. If you're going to play it, you've got to be ready for like 2 hours of being tense.
Right. Okay.
It
I am a
is
bit of
a tense
I
game.
like that. It's got a very, very detuned 80s synth there.
Yeah.
Mm.
The music in it, when you do get music, is very good.
You are. Yeah. It's. I don't listen to the music too much, not because it's off, not because it's bad, but purely because when the music plays, you are in the most tense, stressful situations. And so it's going into my brain, it's making me feel more stressed and more tense.
Yeah.
And I don't really register it's there until we've finished all the fighting, and I hear the very last bit of it when it's like the fighting's over song.
Yeah. Because it just does a little boom when it finishes, but
And suddenly I'm brought back to reality.
yeah, it is an excellent game. We got it recently for Aura and Tom, and we've been playing it. And they've been Tom can shoot in GTFO, as
Good.
in he can shoot straight. I don't know how, but he can. For context, Tom's history of being accurate with guns in games is not great. But he was very accurate with the revolver. He just kept getting lots and lots of headshots on the sleepers. So
Nice.
that was quite impressive. But yeah, yeah, the kind of slightly sci-fi but slightly tense horror vibe creeping through as it went on is yeah, I've not heard it before, but it's pretty accurate. And then the ending of that is very much more the like GTFO theme.
The setting is beautifully. It is Megacorp, which happens a lot, and Megacorp dystopia. But it is specifically Megacorp dystopia where they've cocked up and everything's dead.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It did come out like either just before or just at the start of
Well,
COVID.
it was announced in 2017.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it came out after that, but it was a COVID game that we did for a while, wasn't it?
It was that and Deep Rock.
And their constant audio. It's another one of those games where you learn about everything through audio logs.
It's got great voice acting for
good voice, great voice acting,
and the sound design is awesome. And then the guns and everything. But yeah, no, it's Megacorp found this. It's set in a huge underground facility that's mined into or nearby the Chicxulub crater, which the dinosaur won.
Yes, it is in the meteor that killed the dinosaurs.
Kill the dinosaurs, and that's got some metal in that you need for super processors or something, so it's very expensive these days. And they were doing a whole bunch of other like shady scientific experiments down there, research and stuff, and they let something out which is a virus, and then the virus has essentially killed the world at this point, but there's either still some person or AI or something called the Warden, which is getting us to do the tasks. And then more, but that's kind of spoilers and maybe time shenanigans, but we've not really got to that yet, and it's very interesting. But yeah, so there we go. That was a fun time to talk about GTFO. Thank you for that one, Hayley. So next, number 8, number 7.
Number 7.
Seven.
Next, number 7 for Tam.
My number 7.
Is it going to be older than us? Let's find out.
No, not this
Oh.
time.
Oh, okay. You mix it up.
Bit Trip Runner. I like the whole
Ah.
Bit Trip series, but this is the one with the most prominent theme, because
Okay.
then they made Runner 2, which has the same theme, and Runner 3, which has the same theme, and Rerunner recently, which has the same theme.
Okay.
It's Bit Trip, right? It's from the surface, you've got this very, very sort of simple gameplay. For each one's a different gameplay. You've got first one, which is like Pong. The second one is like a rhythm, DDR style thing.
Mhm.
The third one is weird. The fourth one is Runner, and you're jumping and sliding and kicking as you are forced to run. The fifth one's like an on rails 2D shooter, and the sixth one's Pong again. But they tell this story of the birth and death of the main character, Commander Video, who is some pixels. And it's Bit Trip Runner is the first game where he has because the first 3 games are like developing his consciousness as like a fetus. Is the first game where he goes from being a soul to being a body with a brain. The second one is like him learning. Bit Trip Core is about him learning to like walk, learning to have an identity. The third one is about developing the id, ego, and superego. And the fourth one is about making friends and enemies.
Whoa. That's deep.
In the fifth one, he dies. And then in the sixth one, he ascends into Bit Heaven or whatever. It's weird.
Okay.
Like in Flux, he learns to let go of his past and ascend into transcendence. It's weird. I love this series of it was WiiWare. These came out as WiiWare on the Wii store originally.
Oh,
They're great.
okay.
Bit Trip Runner is fun. It's funky. It's really hard. It's got like dynamic music, but it always sort of comes back to this theme. And it's a really just like upbeat and jolly theme that has that bit influence, obviously.
Yeah.
That's,
I watched at Johnny's,
yeah,
and then now have Bit Trip Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien.
that's the one. Yeah, I think that
And-
one's. It's not part of the original Bit Trip story, but it is also very good. It's a continuation of the gameplay.
And it was like very cool and very dynamic. Sound
All
and
really
stuff. It's,
good.
like, very... But that's my only knowledge of it. But yeah, okay, let's have a listen.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, this sounds vaguely familiar to it.
Sounds
Oh,
very
this-
bitty.
Yeah.
It does also sound bitty.
But it's also got this string sound in the background. It's a fusion of old and new.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I must
just
admit-
that
Yeah.
leitmotif.
When you're describing the story, Ted, I was not expecting that story from this game. Like, wow. 0 to 100 very quickly. Not a bad thing, though. That is.
That was all. That's the whole thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
what? Oh,
It's
more.
pretty chill.
It's like fun, pretty chill. Yeah.
The boss, the
star?
enemy is called Timbletot.
Wow.
So
Huh.
there's that.
Yeah.
That's his
That's
nemesis.
his nemesis. Yeah. It's got a very fun energy to it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And this one is a proper theme. Uh, I think. No, I mean Returnals was, but this one is definitely like a theme that plays when the menu is going, and that is an advert.
It is an advert.
Skip
Create
it.
your own destiny. Oh, there we go.
You can
I
buy
would
a
have. Do I think
buy
I have
home.
this game.
I got
Nuclear
2 ads.
Throne.
No.
Nuclear
I do
Throne.
have this game. I've never played it.
Nuclear
I
Throne. Yeah, that's a good one.
I can't remember who bought this for me, but I saw I think you Tan were probably playing it, or you Tan and Dan or something.
I've played it. Yeah.
And I kept seeing it, and I was like, "Oh, this seems kind of cool." And I put it on my wish list, and someone got it for me, and I played it a bit.
It's
The
kind
game's
of the
alright. The game's fun. It's
It
not
is fun.
massively my thing, but I enjoyed playing it. But the title theme, it's really good.
This is kind of the gameplay of Blazing Beaks as an aside. It's based on this.
Okay,
so-
cool. It's a great piece. It's again, it's kind of very quick paced. Which it's an action roguelike shooter again. So yeah, it's kind of quick paced. But it's got this like Nuclear Throne. It's got like this is called Legend of the Throne. It's got this kind of slightly epic, but also kind of Western vibe.
Ooh, okay.
And then it changes. And then it goes kind of back to what it was, but it adapts. It's very cool. It the first time I heard, just like, that's a really cool piece of music. You'll see what I mean with the change, I think. But yeah, it's a great kind of opening piece to the game. So let's have a listen.
Never heard of this game. Oh, I love this list because all these games I've never heard of, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely gives you that post-apocalyptic vibe, doesn't it?
Yes, that's it. Post-apocalyptic, yeah,
But also kind of Western.
yeah,
And that's exactly what Nuclear Throne feels like, just with
Yeah.
more explosions.
yep.
Oh, I like that chord.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
Ooh. I feel like I should
Ooh,
be running from something quick and murderous. What's this? Is
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm playing Nuclear Throne, so it
Yeah.
does a great job.
And then it brings back the old theme again with the new, but just like the dun dun dun. Yeah, just it's great.
And the Western harmonica.
I
Yeah.
know. Oh, I love that.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Please, can you make this all into a giant just link the playlist, Ollie? 'Cause I need to...
I'll put this all on a playlist.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I need to listen to these again.
There we go. Yeah, the pace, the introduction, it again, like, yeah, having like when I did music GCSE, a lot of the music I would write for it was, building. Like you'd start with a couple of instruments and you'd broaden it out and do more. And so that's the kind of thing which if I ever get that scratches that itch for me, and then this definitely does that. But it's got so many interesting like vibes as well, like the Western, and then kind of the kind of slightly rock aspect of it, and then the like the choral stuff being kind of like the the kind of mythical part of it as well. Kind of like this campfire tale kind of vibe, and there was a campfire in the shot, to be fair. So yeah, I really like that piece.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, we have one to go, I think. And then we'll do for this half, and then we'll do 5-1 next time.
That makes sense.
So yeah, starting off with Emily, your final piece for today, number 6.
Yep, I know what's coming.
It is
Something
haha.
chill. I chose Animal Crossing New
A
Leaf.
slightly different Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's a more homely one. This one, I only recently picked up New Leaf again, very very recently, and I just got reminded of this theme, and I thought, oh, more nostalgia. I love it. Let's put it on the list. Why not? Yeah, just sort of very comfy theme. Like obviously, it's expressed more with Hayley's choice of New Horizons. But New Leaf has got a special place in my heart. Yeah, it's just I remember going a lot, taking this game with me on holiday when I was a lot younger, and just hearing this theme. It just brings back a lot of those memories for me personally. And, yeah, like I said, it's Animal Crossing. It's comfy. It's calm. Yeah, book and read.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, got a nice cup of tea. Yeah, play this game. It's great. It's great.
Cool. Let's have a listen.
Very different vibe to New Horizons.
Mm. Still got a bit of that percussion in the back, though.
Yeah. Even though
We're
they're
just gonna
different
bring that to the
composers.
forefront more in the
That's different. I don't remember that from New Horizons.
Yeah, this definitely feels more cozy and kind of at home rather than like tropical islandy.
Yeah, because I think the main gimmick of New Leaf when it came out was the fact that you were the mayor, so you could run the whole town. Whereas obviously New Horizons is a bit different. Like you still come the island representative, but you can do more changing of the island and make it more your own. Whereas this one, you got to pick your own randomly generated town, but it still felt like yours. That makes sense with the public works project and stuff. So it's all still unique, but more felt like you said, coming home rather than holiday aspects of the other games.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, and if you get the chance, please play New Leaf. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
And I love it very much.
Okay. This is number 6.
Number 6. Here we go.
Oh,
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh shoot! I deleted the wrong one. Sorry.
It's actually going to be Animal Crossing.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Ooh.
I
I
got a
have
remaster, didn't it?
It did get a remaster. That was what I played. It's had a remaster actually.
A remaster of a remaster.
Recently.
Very recently.
Because it is from 2004, I want to say.
Ooh, okay.
I have a very strange relationship with the Metal Gear franchise because I started at 5, which is the one that Hideo Kojima didn't really want to make.
Oh, okay.
And didn't finish.
Oh.
It's a very strange game. You finish halfway. That's it. There's so much missing from it.
Wait, what? Really?
It's really weird. And there's also a prologue that you can play, but it's £50 and a separate game, and it's very strange. But going back in time when Hideo Kojima wanted to make Metal Gear Solid games, and the one I played after 5 in a totally legal manner is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is probably the one I've enjoyed the most. This song plays multiple times the most memorable time it plays is you are in a giant underground facility, climbing up a ladder, and for the entire ladder climb, you are listening to this song. It is a 3-minute long ladder climb with just very loud music going on. A very good time. And I just think every time, what must it be like if you don't have the music turned on and you just come up to this ladder and are just... Am I still coming through?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just listening.
and you're just climbing in silence in the dark for 3 minutes. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's a very strong, loud song. It's a very nice listen. I imagine you might have listened to it before.
I have heard this because you have played it.
Tan?
I have not heard this one.
You've not heard it?
And I
Emily?
really should have added it to a playlist because it's very James Bond.
It's very James Bond.
And I do
It's a
love that
very
style
good-
of song. So
Very good song.
yeah.
It is... The vocals I remember are done by Donna Burke. I don't know if she also wrote the song. She's done other songs. She did for the second season of Tokyo Ghoul. Which
wait.
the only good thing about it in my mind was the soundtrack. She did the singing for Glassy Sky.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Oh, I love that song.
So she has a very strong voice and
Wow.
yeah, great song. I think we should just play it, really.
We should. This is going to be very different to everything we've had so far.
It's completely different to anything I've done.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Nice though. Get to
Just immediately.
Oh,
Yep.
this is
Bond. James
Yep.
Bond. It's great.
Wait, what?
Yep.
I can hear her now. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool how she did that. I didn't know that.
The horns.
Oh, this is. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, she did Sins of the Father for Metal Gear Solid 5
Sins
as
of
well.
the
That
Father
makes
from
sense.
Solid 5, that's a very good song as well. One I probably will include in a list at some point, but I don't think that's a theme song
Don't think it is, no.
for the game.
I do love that one.
That's more of a character theme.
Yeah.
Well, Quiet's theme is more of a character theme, and I think it follows on from that.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's just quite a surprising song to come up if you spent a while wandering around a rainforest that's for some reason in the Soviet Union. Trying desperately to sneak around things and do a load of CQB, and you finally make your way into a secret facility, climb a ladder, and just bam, it's there.
Huh. It's very James Bond, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, I definitely didn't see what you mean, Chris. She's a very strong singer.
I imagine you've heard Sins of the Father, Emily, but if you haven't, her voice
No,
in
I
that one
haven't.
is... Oh, her voice
I'm
in that
sorry.
is incredible.
I will add it to
You
my
may have heard it from
Spotify.
a meme, to be fair, if not the actual song.
Probably. Oh, I love it when they whisper.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
It's a great song. And I just want to finish off by saying, in this game, at the end of it, you kill someone who has the title of the boss, And then when you get back to America afterwards, Lyndon B. Johnson says, "You have bested the boss. I now bestow upon you the title of Big Boss." And it is just the best. It's 2004 graphics photo pasted on Lyndon B. Johnson, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
Good song. Good
Yeah,
game.
love
Good
that song.
times.
Okay. So I have to apologize to Hayley because I got her order mixed up, which is not my fault because she didn't send me the order. But I said I did GTA First number 7. That was supposed to be number 6.
Oopsie doopsie.
So that was this one, and the one we're about to do now is number 7, which is World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
Ooh.
Which
I did
is
not take Hayley for a WoW player.
Hayley played a lot of WoW.
Well, people tend to if they play WoW.
It's
and a couple
either
of other-
none or a lot.
and a couple of
Yeah.
other similar ones which
Yeah.
will come up later. But very, very otherworldly chorus, and then it builds up, and then bam, war-y marching sounds. Very underworld-esque, and the voices sound a little contorted, like tortured undead crying out, and it goes along, it shifts into each of the 4 main factions and gives us the impression of each faction available with the feelings of freedom, war, nature, and torment. It's quite a long one. I don't know if we're going to have to listen to the whole thing to get that across. I guess we'll see. After the ad.
After the Tekken ad.
Oh, it's
After
the yogurt one again.
Are you selling your first home?
No.
I mean, they are good yogurts, but just stop. I want another cottage advert.
Okay,
There we
back
go.
to start.
Time for
Yep.
some good stuff.
Very dark and dour.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh.
This is good.
I don't know what more to say about this, really. I don't know what to say about this.
I imagine it's a longer one and things are gonna change.
It matches the image I have of World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
I will do that. I'll say that. As
Sure.
someone who's never played World of Warcraft, thankfully.
Yeah, neither.
No, neither I.
Not been bitten by that bug.
Yeah, as I was also gonna say.
Oh, Skull Shave.
And
Why have
there's
you
an
come
ad bad break coming in, so
Another ad break.
there's another one about halfway through.
Ad.
That's very funny.
Just gonna skip on a couple of times and see if it changes much. Skip on to about 4 minutes. This is like a long old theme.
It is indeed. As Hayley said when it
Okay, so
when
yeah,
it plays.
I think it's the title kind of theme for it. The login screen, yeah, and I guess WoW takes quite long to log into, probably.
Sometimes you've got to enter a server queue, I believe. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
We're gonna have another ad, or can I skip ahead? I can skip ahead. Okay, so yeah, as you go on, the
I've got to
style
think
of
about
music does
shading.
change quite a lot.
A man is shaving a skull.
Oh no!
No.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it there,
Sounds
but
quite
yes, the
jovial
vibe
now.
certainly, changes quite a lot as it goes on. Yeah, really quite a lot down. Okay. Well, we'll leave that one there. That was Hayley's number 7, because I murdered up the order. Back to number 6 now. This is Tan's number 6.
Woohoo! You know what's up? It's Burnout 2!
I am surprised this didn't. Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised this didn't come up earlier because we're going
from
am-
10 to
10
1,
down.
so...
Once again, not heard of this game either.
It's another racing game.
The Burnout series is a game about driving real fast, doing incredibly dangerous things like driving on the wrong side of the road and going as
Okay.
close as cars to possible without crashing into them. And in the later games, slamming your opponents into walls. Burnout 1 had an utterly bizarre soundtrack that was like, okay, I love the soundtrack to Burnout 1 because it's dynamic. It's not what you expect at all. Every game after Burnout 1 was rock and metal. The first one was like all sorts of things, but it would start off as like a sort of jolly song as you're dashing at 150 miles an hour through traffic. And then you would crash. If you crash 3 times in a race, which is very likely, it turns into a horror game.
What?
And it has like the most trauma-inducing for a young child like me soundtrack you can imagine. Burnout 2, completely the other side. It was just like, yeah, crashing's cool, do crimes, metal. And instead of normally in Burnout 1, as you boost, because you have to use all of your boost in one go, when you boost, the music completely vanishes and is replaced by like a heartbeat sound. In Burnout 2, the music is normally sort of a little quiet, and then when you boost, it cranks up the metal and guitars all the way. So it's completely the other direction. Burnout 2 is the one that introduced the theme that sort of comes back in most of the games, like Revenge and Paradise, but this is the definitive version. It just gets you hyped because it's aggressive. You know what you're getting into with this.
Okay, let's have a listen.
I'm very interested now.
Hmm.
And then somehow, it gets emotional. I think that is where it repeats. So
Okay.
they added a whole lot more in the Burnout Paradise version. It's like it's harder, you know. It goes, instead of a ding 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 with that rhythm, it's like, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it has this whole other section where it goes completely ham. But I wanted this one.
Fair enough.
Very.
They're both
That's
good
cool.
though.
Yeah, like that's a cool thing. It's not one like some of them that you had that were racing ones. I could have been like, yeah, that's definitely racing theme. That one could have been a couple of things.
It could have been anything. It could have been like, like if the first Contra came out like in 2005 or something instead of 1980 whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sort of,
Okay.
or maybe Metal Slug. Who knows? It's just action.
Yeah, the action kind of feel to it.
I
Okay,
love
which
Burnout.
leaves us with one more, which is my number 6, which I think is also Hayley's number 5, but I'll let her talk about it next time.
Oh, wow.
Save it for the
Ah,
first time.
the Mean Girls film, of course. That's
Ollie's
your favorite
favourite.
one.
Let's go another ad.
There we go.
Ordering.
I limited myself to one FromSoft, and it technically wasn't FromSoft, but it was there.
I did not.
I
Yeah.
tried not to love that.
This is the theme. The main theme. It's also the trailer theme. And they use it again. And to be fair, that's fair enough because it's a great theme. Yeah, like we kind of talked about earlier, the Souls series specifically are very somber, very dark and depressing. That's not to say there aren't bombastic moments, but that's certainly not where it starts, or in fact where it ends. Bloodborne and Sekiro kind of do their own thing. But Elden Ring is very much bombastic from the start, and like, yes, you are the more than you are in anything else. Yeah, it definitely feels like you're more like the hero. This is a heroic story. Definitely gives you that feel. And a lot of the music throughout does, certainly as well. So yeah, let's have a listen. It also uses a couple of notes from a theme from Dark Souls 1, which I don't know if it's intentional or not, but interesting. Those two. Just brass sections and drums, which are just cool anyway. And yeah, it's just very bombastic and exciting.
Boom, boom.
Oh, they went with the same sort of. They flipped what they did with Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They flipped it.
Yep.
Because you have that chord,
Mm-hmm.
but then it goes up again.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's actually
that's
works
clever.
out quite well.
Very nice.
Nice.
Then it'll start again, but yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such an epic theme.
Love it. Love it. Anything that's got like cool voices in is I really like those as well. I think partly from because when I used to be a choir boy, so there's some like connection there for me as well. There's one of those things where like one of my age-old questions is always, what are they saying? But it's very hard to tell. Often it's Latin, but not always. But yeah, the theme, yeah, is actually, yeah, you've got the little bit at the start, which is a couple of notes from one of the boss themes from Dark Souls, but then the notes are the same from Demon Souls, but it's major and it goes up instead of it being like Demon Souls when it goes down. Which is a very cool coincidence, which I'm sure wasn't a coincidence to some extent, but for us to come across. But yeah, just again, really hypes you up to the end of the game. Gives you the vibe, gives you the feel. Very grand scale, epic storyline, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just get you hyped up. And
very much.
And all that kind of stuff. One of those good motivational pieces. And yeah, that closes out the bottom half of our list.
Oh my gosh.
in theory, by all accounts, the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was the first part of our top 10 game title themes in quotation marks, because some of them stretched it, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Obviously these are only our opinions, and whatever opinions you have, that's great. Feel free to let us know. However, on if that works. I think podcasts have comments, and I'll maybe try and put this up on our YouTube, but it's all music, so I don't know. We'll find out.
Talking.
Well, if I was
Maybe.
talking over it the whole time, then we might over it, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll have part 2 up as soon as we're able to record it. So a couple of Mondays time potentially. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, until then, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cabincast. For more episodes, go to www.cabincast.podbean.com or use the Podbean app. You can now also find us on iTunes and Pocket Casts under Cabincast and on YouTube. The uploads here are quite behind. Finally, you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cabincast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.